Hello lovelies, it's the last couple of days before Christmas and I just wanted to run through all the things that I've got ready for next year. So all my notebooks, my Filofax and anything that I'll be using in the new year basically. Obviously there's not really much to show at the moment because I haven't moved into those things yet, they're waiting for the new year, so there's not any great detail to show, nothing's really filled in yet. But I just thought I would show sort of what I've got ready to go and any extra bits and pieces that I have. So just a cozy video just before Christmas, just showing what I'll be using in the new year. I've got my reindeer earrings on and a nice cup of tea. So yeah, let's get to it. Okay, I have a pile of goodies here. So firstly, this is what I've been using for 2025, which I talked about in my last video. I'm going away for Christmas and I don't think I'll be really updating any more pages now until I move into the Filofax at the beginning of next year, because I don't really have any plans. I just plan to relax and take it easy over Christmas. So this will be pretty much the last week that I spend in this one. So I can't get the tripod to show it on the flat lay, so I'm going to have to just use my hands. I do apologise therefore if it's a very wobbly footage. I'll try and keep my hands as steady as I can, especially as I'm flipping with just one hand. I'll show you an overview of all the books that I'll be using. This is a very small weeks per 2 page. I assume it's quite similar in size to the Hobonichi weeks maybe, but yeah, very cheap, very small. But it's been really lovely this year, so this is what I've been using, and I won't flip through all the pages because obviously we're at the end of the year now, but this will probably just be my last week of this year. So these are just the kind of things that I note down, just like I went for a walk that day, I dyed my hair, did some housework, had a friend over. So these sorts of things are the kind of things that I note down. I do have a little bit of colour coordination going on, so anything that's sort of movement based is orange, our stuff is purple, stuff with friends is pink, so a little bit of that. So that's kind of become what my decoration has been this year, especially in this size. I mean, it's so tiny, it's kind of impossible to decorate in this, but that's just what I've been doing this year and it's worked really well. So no decoration, although I have put in these 2 Christmas stamps that I was sent Christmas cards for. I just cut these off the envelopes and stuck them in because the Royal Mail Christmas stamps are really nice this year. So I just stuck those in, but this will probably be the last spread of this year. And then I'll be moving into the Filofax next year. So yeah, very cute, very handy, but I am glad to be moving back into the Filofax. And in January, I'll be moving into my personal Finchley, which I'm really excited about. I mentioned in my last video how I'm not going to be utilising as many dividers as I used to before. This will be for my week over 2 pages spread, and that's pretty much all I'll have in it. There's a couple of extra things which I'll show you in a moment, but otherwise we're all set up here and yeah, really looking forward to it. I've given it a condition so it feels nice and fresh, and I've got some bookmarks in there and things, and that's what I'll be using. So cannot wait to move back into this, and I don't expect I'll take this out and about with me in my bag, but this will probably just sit on my desk and I'll sort of check it every morning, and then in the evening that's when I'll sort of sit down and write down what I've done in a day. I'm really excited. So here's my personal Finchley. I'm not sure if you can quite see in this light, it's a very deep purpley colour. I really love the texture of it, And considering I've had this for, I think, over 15 years, it's in such good condition. But I have taken good care of it, and I do make sure to condition it every now and then with some beeswax. So a quick flip in here. I haven't really got much in here. These are just a few sticky notes if I need them. This is just a small yearly overview. This is where I'll be noting down my cycles each month. So I'll just highlight the weeks, and then that's all I'll be using this for. And then it's just straight into the diary. I've put down here these tiny tabs. They're very cute. I found these in a pack on eBay, which I'll try and link down below somewhere. But yeah, each month tab here down the side, and just a classic week on 2 pages because that's what I like. Obviously nothing is really in here yet. I've done a couple of, you know, stickers like Happy New Year, and I think I've got one in for now. To replace my digital calendar, I've used a Google Calendar for a number of years. I'm going back to a good old-fashioned physical calendar. So I plan to just have this next to my desk. I did think about having pages that I could print out and put in the Filofax, but they're a little bit too small in the personal size. And I like how with this one, for example, I like that this one is actually a really small calendar size, because the ones I've always seen before are the very large ones, which are too big, but this is a perfect little compact size, but it is big enough for me to write maybe a couple things each day in here if I need to, which I doubt. This will be more around my planning. So I mentioned in my last video how I use my daily spread for the memory keeping part of my day. So at the end of the day, I'll kind of note down the things that I did each day in this planner, which I shouldn't call a planner, it's more memory keeping, but I don't know what else to call it. But my actual planning will be just in a calendar. So I'll probably put things in pencil on this, and then that way if my plans change, I can just rub them out and move them around. I found that when I was using my planners, whether it was my personal size or obviously this is it's much smaller, there wasn't enough room to be able to scratch things out and start again or move things around in a day. So that's why I like to use this for just an overview of the day that I actually have done. And also, I will be honest, I try to not be precious about these things, but having things all scratched out and moved around, it does just kind of drive me a bit insane. So this is the one I like to look really nice, and this is something that will go into my memory box at the end of every year. And I've kept all my inserts and all my planners and diaries and journals and things all over the years in my memory boxes. So this will be something that I keep forever. Whereas this is something that can get really scruffy and I can move around, and it doesn't really matter what it looks like because it's not really there to keep. I mean, now that it is actually physical, I'll obviously feel maybe I should keep it because it will feel very wasteful if I just throw this away at the end of the year. But then it is cardboard, so I don't know, we'll get to that in 12 months time, I suppose. But this is not intended, at least, to be that really nice memory keeping part of my whole ecosystem. This will just be the things that I'm planning in advance, and then if they change, I can easily move things around because I can use them in pencil. And I like that monthly overview formula of seeing a calendar as well. So once a week, I like to sit down on a Friday and look at the week ahead and kind of see what's coming up, and then use that to inform my memory keeping planner. I really need to think of another word from planner, because this isn't a planner to me. It is a planner. It can be used as one, but I don't use it that way, and I need to think of another word to use it. I guess for now I'll just call it Filofax because that's what it is. But yeah, this will replace my digital calendar, and it will sit next to my desk, and it's really beautiful. Just got pretty garden birds. So far, all the things I have put in are just people's birthdays, because obviously they don't change. And I've done a couple of like post-it things. This is quite far in advance, so this is in October next year. So I've got no idea if these things will still be going ahead. So if they don't, I can obviously just tear those out. So here is my birdie calendar, very simple. Just, you know, your classic calendar set out. I don't know if you can see with my hand how small it is. It's very cute, but yeah, all I've put in here for now are people's birthdays, and we'll just see how this goes over the next year. But I love these birds. I found this in a garden centre. It's very cute. I'm excited. Look at the little fat robin. Can't wait to use it. The last couple of things are, this has been my catch-all notebook in 2025. I've had it since, I think, February. Yeah, it's a super cheap, ugly notebook that I just kind of wanted to be my messy notebook. Where I wasn't sure how I was going to use it first, but over the course of the last year, it's been something that I sort of use as a mishmash. So I use this to plan my meals for the week, every week. So this is where I do my grocery lists and also my meal plans. I also use this to write out any lists that I might need to do, like any seasonal wish lists or to-do lists or packing lists. I sometimes use it for Scrabble scores. I do have a personal journal for those sort of private deep thought sessions, but this I use for those personal development sessions. So if I'm sort of watching something that might be helpful for my personal development, I'll use this to make notes on it. And yeah, it's kind of been just a catch-all, and I've actually loved it. I think because I wasn't precious about the notebook, I just got stuck in and I didn't really care how things looked, and you know, I just let myself play around with a few different things and see what worked. It's actually ended up working really well, and so I'm going to keep this into next year, but I'm about 3 or 4 pages away from completely finishing the notebook. And I can't actually tell you the last time I ever finished a notebook. It's been such a friend to me, and this actually I have taken out with me in my bag quite a few times, because if I'm waiting for someone at a coffee shop, I might just bring this out and maybe do a bit of sort of journaling or thinking or making lists, processing, those kind of things. And I'll have this with me. So I'm about to finish this, which is perfect because it fits with the end of the year. And because I have made such good use of this book, I did decide to buy a slightly nicer notebook for the next year. So I've got one of these. I'm not going to try and pronounce it because I'll probably get it wrong, but it is just similar to that. It's just an A5 lined notebook. But the difference is that this one is bound version of a notebook, whereas this is ring bound. And I have preferred a ring bound notebook for a number of years now, because I like how you can obviously bend them in half to write on, and I like that you can take the pages out. But with this book, over the months, I've not really been taking pages out anymore because I like it to show that journey over a year, and I've quite liked just keeping things in there and also I know where things are in the notebook, and I have a few tabs and things. So my plan is to not really take pages out if I can help it. And also there's a number of pages in here that I refer to quite often, and as they get used, where they connect to the rings gets worn over time, and I found that the pages I used the most were starting to fall out anyway, which isn't ideal. It's great if you mean for those pages to come out, but it's not very helpful if you want the pages to stay in your notebook. So for the first time in a very long time, I'm going to try an actual bound notebook and just see how this fits. So it's very much the same as the last one. It's A5 lined. Although I kind of wish I had got a plain notebook, because I quite like doing mind maps and sideways spreads, but we'll see. I've bought it now. I can't return it, so yeah. But I like as well that this has numbered pages, and also although it's a bit slimmer than the notebook I've had, the lines are much closer together, so this should be very helpful, and I'm really looking forward to it. I like how there's a couple of these, what do you call it? These ribbons, and yeah, it's dense but lightweight and compact. So I'm very much looking forward to using this next year as my replacement catch-all. But I'm going to try and have the same mindset as I did with the one I'm currently using, because I don't want to be precious about this either. I want to really make the most of it and just have it be my messy notebook, but my slightly nicer messy notebook. I really hope this isn't too shaky for footage. I've not even taken this off yet, so it's just, this is it. It's just a notebook. What else do you want? Just a nice lined notebook. But it feels really nice quality, nice and thick. I mostly use fountain pens, so I don't think there's any bleed through on these pages, although I need to do a test at some point. And yeah, I'm just really excited to move into this, and I like that we've got these two ribbons here and that the pages are numbered. So yeah, really looking forward to using this, and kind of similar to my Filofax, it's a really nice deep colour. I don't know what this is officially called, but it is a plum type of colour. So I thought that would look nice on my desk with my Filofax. Can't wait to use it. My final notebook for next year, this is going to be a new one, which I mentioned quickly in my last video, but I don't even know what size this is. Is this A6? It's very tiny, but this is going to be my kind of a reading tracker. Oh, I don't like the word tracker I don't like trackers anymore. I don't know what to call it, but this is where I will note down all the books that I read in the year. I have been using an app for a few years now. I use Storygraph, which is really fantastic. I love the app, but I am trying to use my smartphone much less. And I've also noticed that the few years that I have used a tracking app for reading, it's a strange thing. I've started to become focused on the numbers a bit too much. For me, reading is very much about the quality over quantity, but I find I can't help with those numbers every month, and as you go, you kind of being aware of that data. I don't know, maybe this is just a me problem, but I find that I'm focusing on it a bit too much. So I wanted to use this to note down those books that I read, but also there's enough pages in here to kind of just write one small page after each book to just kind of process what I've read, the things I liked, the things I didn't like, the characters I liked, and all those sorts of things, which I do now anyway, but again, I've been doing that digitally, so it would be nice to kind of sit down with pen and paper and actually do that more mindfully. So that's what I've got for this purpose. It was just a super cheap notebook. I got this, it was like a pack of 3 for really cheap in Waterstones, and that's what the intention will be with this. So I will still be using the app, I think. I'm not sure. I might give it a few months, both of them in tandem, and kind of see how I go. But my reading goal for next year is to actually slow down. I think over this year I've been pretty good at not trying to feel in any way like I'm not reading enough. I don't really like to use the word shoulds and coulds, because, you know, we all should and could read more, I'm sure. But I think the problem is that because I do love reading, I have a tendency to read quite quickly and then it's on to the next book, and I don't sit enough at the end of reading a book and think about it as much as I want to. There's actually a really great video I found from another creator on here, whose name I can't remember, but I will link her video in the description below, because she has a really great video about how to read a little bit more critically and the questions to ask yourself after finishing a book. And that's what I want to do in the new year, is to actually just sit with each book for a little while after I've read it and think about it, rather than just, you know, in the read pile and on to the next one, and to focus on that mindfulness aspect of it. You know, it doesn't mean I have to sit here and like write a whole notebook about each book. It's just, you know, just a little while sitting and thinking about each book that I've read, I think is important, and I want to incorporate that into next year. Here is my very tiny little book journal that I'll be using. It's quite unusual. It's got one side is lined and one is plain, which I guess it might be useful to maybe have the pictures of books or mood boards on one side, and then I can write my thoughts on the other. But yeah, just a very tiny little compact notebook. I tend to read anything between kind of 20 to 50 books a year. It just depends obviously how much I'm reading and the size of those books, but this can fit up to 50 in it, so it should be more than enough for what I need. So yeah, this is where I will do all my book journaling, and looking forward to it. I'm not sure if you can see, but it's got this really nice gold foil on it. That's not quite showing in the light, but yeah, it's really pretty. So I'm excited to use that as well. That's it in terms of the notebooks and the things that I'll be using next year. I have a few other bits and pieces that I like to have. My last Filofaxes, I did lots of decoration spreads, and I'd use washi tape and stickers and all these sorts of things. And that was a big part of what I enjoyed using the Filofax for, but I'm not sure if now that's going to be something that I do quite enjoy as much. I think just because I am a bit busier now, and I'm just not sure if it's something I'm going to be able to do every week. Anyway, this will be something that I'll figure out over time. There are a few little things that I have been using recently. And the first is a different type of stickers. So before I used to have like those stickers that are on plastic sheets, and you can get in all sorts of shops, which have been really nice, but I haven't enjoyed using those ones for some reason this year. So I've got a couple of different sets. I've got, these ones are called Go Girl Planner stickers, and these ones called Planner Stickers Mega Packs. I will show you, of course, a flat lay look at this in just a moment, just the kind of stickers that they have. But what I liked about this is that they have a sheet of stickers for each month of the year, which I thought was really cute because they're very seasonal as you go through the year. I won't show these now, I'll show them properly in a moment. But I just really liked how it just gives you a few nice stickers to use, but I'm not kind of like overwhelmed by it. It'll just be, you know, if there's a key days, then you have ones for those. Like there's, you know, Valentine's Day sticker in February, and lots of little hearts. There's like a theme for each month, which I really like, but I don't have to sort of think about how am I going to decorate, you know, a whole 2-week spread with a certain theme. I think it's just going to be a very simple for me in terms of decoration next year, and we'll see how we go. But saying that, I did actually buy this amazing sticker book. I found this in Waterstones in the UK in a really strange area of the shop. I think it was kind of near where their tarot cards were, in that kind of area. And this is a sticker book. I've never seen one of these before, but it's a whole book of stickers, and they had different theme of books. So this is the Woodland Adventures, but you also had one, I can't remember, but it was more spooky, and you had like skulls and crossbones and things like that. But this is more my vibe, just like woodland creatures, and they're really beautiful. So I mean, some of these are obviously, this whole page is a sticker, which I think is amazing. It's so cute, and they've just got the whole book is stickers. I love this, and I'm so excited to use it. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to really fit any of these stickers in my Filofax, but I'm probably going to use them, my notebook that I have, and maybe my little reading journal, and any other things that I can find to do with it, really. It would look really nice on wrapping paper, and homemade cards and things as well. So I did buy this because I haven't seen it before, and it's full of the kind of images that I love. So we'll see. That's just something I picked up recently. Here's a quick look at the 2 sticker packs I've got for next year. So in this one, these are the tabs that I used for my Filofax monthlies. But this one is where we have a page of stickers for each month. And I love that they change in theme. And like these ones are all little hearts and very pink for February and Valentine's Day. Green for March. So yeah, these are just really nice for title pages in my notebooks. I use these for my work notebook as well. And it does just cheer me up a little bit, especially on those glum work days, just being able to, I don't know, have a little bit of fun with our notebooks. So yeah, here, this is what I've used for this year in my work notebook. So that's what I'm going to use those ones for. And these are more planner based stickers, so you've got lots of repetitive ones. So a workout sheet, different sorts of appointments here, and there's a whole bunch here, so I won't flip through them all, but I just found these 2 packs on eBay, and I just thought these would be really nice for highlighting certain things in my Filofax when I need to. I really love this. These tiny little posters with motivational quotes. So yeah, loads here, and I'm going to be using these mostly for my Filofax, but I'll probably be able to make use of them in my other notebooks as well. So yeah, lots of motivational ones for the new year. Which is funny because I've actually just cancelled my job, my gym description. So yeah, lots of fun. Here is the Woodland Adventures sticker book. Quite chunky, so I won't go through every page, but I'll just kind of show you the vibes. So just really beautiful artwork in sticker form, and a big range of sizes as well. Some of them are really big, some of them are really small. I love this. Look at this. So beautiful. So these, a lot of these are probably too big to be using maybe in the Filofax, but I'll definitely use these for my notebooks, and I'm sure I'll find all sorts of other things. I want to stick some on my laptop, on my work notebook, you know, those sorts of things. That's beautiful. Really nice. All different types of artists as well. I've seen some really nice Japanese ones in here as well. Very nice. And then you've got like nice mythology vibes. Really cute. So this is that. Would definitely recommend. And finally, something that I've been using these for my work notebook. So I have a completely separate notebook for my work things. And actually, I have the exact same of this for work. I have it in a different colour for work, but this is the same notebook that I use. And with this notebook, it's for a date and what day of the week it is, but they're not written in. So I kind of use my work notebook as a day per page, but because it's undated, I can take each day as it comes, and some days I will need maybe half a page, and some days I might need 4 pages. So having a blank undated notebook works really well because I can tailor it each day to however much space I need. And then I have tabs for each of the months, so I can kind of flip easily to each month. But anyway, as part of that, I've been using stencils. I found these on eBay. I bought 2 packs, and as you can see, there's quite a lot in each pack. I think there was 10 or 15 or so stencils in each pack. I've got one that's more kind of A5 size, and then another pack which was more personal size because I want to use this for my Filofax as well. But you won't be able to obviously see the shapes probably from this angle. I'll show it at a different angle, but anyway, all sorts of different stencils, like days of the week, calendar setups, little banners. I just use different coloured pens and use these stencils, so I think I'll probably incorporate this into my other notebook next year and also into my Filofax. See, these are my stencils. I do have about 40 now because I wanted them in different sizes, but to just give you a quick overview, these kind of things, so you can use different coloured pens or pencils, and they're good for title pages, or if I'm doing my weekly reflection at work, I'll use something like this one at the top of the page. I don't know if you can see it very well. Just makes it look a bit prettier. But you've got, you know, like icons that you can use for journaling. This is probably what I'll use for my Filofax. You've got all sorts of things in here, and you can, like here, you can make your own sort of weekly calendar thing. But these have been really helpful for if I don't quite want to sit there and decorate a spread, but I just want to, you know, make a little picture or something, so I'm not very good at drawing myself. It's just really good to use a stencil. I wish they weren't plastic, I'll be honest, but I guess I'm not sure what else they could be made out of. I guess that's it until next year, until we have January the 1st. It's just that waiting period to be able to move in to my Filofax, but I'm really looking forward to it. I've really missed it, and yeah, I just can't wait, and I'll show the journey of moving into it and what I do with it over the months. If you're still here, thanks for watching very much, and I hope you have If you celebrate, I hope you have a lovely Christmas time. If not, I hope you just have a nice break, and I hope that you see in the new year the way you want to, and that you have wonderful 2026, and hopefully I'll see you then.